two of the top rated suburbs in the entire Midwest, if not the entire country. But which one is a better fit for you and your family? Today I'm breaking down the differences between Carmel, Indiana and Fishers, Indiana. Let's dive in. So to start, let's give a big picture overview. This is honestly one of the most frequent questions that I get asked as a realtor here in Hampton County, because these two suburbs are consistently in the top 10, top 15 of places to live, places to raise a family in the United States. So I figured I'd just give you guys, just at a glance, the overall differences, and then we'll dive into the specifics. First of all, Carmel is known for being very refined. It's high end. They emphasize walkability a ton, and it's an award-winning suburb. It was Money Magazine's best place to live. If it wasn't number one, it was number two. Fishers, on the other hand, is very family-centric. There's a ton to do. It's a little bit more affordable than Carmel, which is a pro for some people. It is fast-growing, and there is quite a large entrepreneurial space, specifically in the tech industry, in the Fishers area. Now, both of these are located in Hampton County, like I said, and depending on which one you choose, it's about 20 or 30 minutes from downtown Indy, give or take, where you are in those specific suburbs. Fishers, I feel like, is a little bit more sprawling, where Carmel is more geographically built out, so they're doing a lot of redevelopment there. But an easy way to think of it is Carmel is like the finished product. It's been an absolute staple in Hamilton County for as long as I can remember, definitely longer since I've lived in Indiana. And Fishers is more the suburb that's still climbing, but it has a ton of energy and momentum, and it could be up there with Carmel someday. So let's go ahead and dive into the list. So number one, obviously I'm a realtor, so we're going to talk about the housing market and the cost of living. Carmel's median home price as of 2025 is around $550,000, where Fishers' median home price is $425,000. Property taxes are comparable, but you're much more likely to find a HOA in Carmel, and you're going to have some higher end luxury builds. And so it's going to kind of skew on the higher end when you're looking at Carmel as far as cost of living. Overall, in comparison to nationwide, I believe Indiana is like 8% under the average cost of living. But, you know, Carmel has, I think, a lot more higher end neighborhoods. You've got West Clay, you've got Jackson's Grant, you've got Bridgewater Club. I mean, there's a lot of options in Carmel as far as like high-end luxurious living. Fishers has their pockets too. The Hawthorns are gorgeous. And then you've got a lot of really beautiful lakefront properties on Geist. And that's going to be more on the northeast side of Geist, which is a reservoir. It's the largest reservoir in the Indianapolis metro area. So on the other hand, Fishers has a lot more variety when it comes to first-time home buyers, investors, or families that are needing more space. One thing I will say in regards to investors, both Carmel and Fishers just recently passed a rental cap, 10% per neighborhood. So only 10% of the homes in the neighborhoods can be rented out. You know, they just passed that very recently, so we'll see how that shakes out long term. But honestly, if you're looking for new construction under that $450,000, $500,000 mark, Fishers will probably give you more bang for the buck. But if you're looking for that higher end, timeless, classic luxury feel, that's where a lot of buyers are drawn to Carmel. One more note on the housing market. Fishers is going to have more inventory, I think, just because of its lower price point, as well as geographically, it takes up a pretty large footprint, where Carmel is kind of boxed in on all sides by Zionsville to the west, Westfield to the north, Fishers to the east, and Indianapolis to the south. Fishers actually just annexed about 1,000 acres on I believe it was like the east or northeast side, or far east, out towards McCordsville. So there's probably a lot of new build opportunities in Fishers in that, you know, $400,000 to $500,000 range that you aren't going to find in Carmel. Next up is schools and education. So the Carmel Place School District is consistently nationally ranked. Carmel High School specifically recently went viral. It went viral like a year or two ago on TikTok, just given the amenities that the school offers. They've got a shop class, they've got full media production division, they've got obviously like the school news station, which is kind of cool, broadcasting. So I feel like there are a ton of options with the Carmel Place schools when it comes to, if you don't know which direction you want to go in career-wise. I think Carmel Place schools do a great job of fostering that. When it comes to Fishers, You've got two major high schools. You have Hamilton Southeastern and you have Fishers High School. They're both still excellent schools. Like if you look them up on grade schools, they score really well on grade schools, but they're a little bit more spread out, where Carmel is a smaller, more unified school district. Both of them offer AP programs, arts, and strong extracurriculars. The athletics are great at all of those, specifically Carmel and HSE, which you'll hear Hamilton Southeastern referred to as. Carmel often edges out a little bit when it comes to test scores and college readiness, but ultimately, if schools are your number one priority, you're not going to go wrong in either city, but Carmel may have a slight edge in rankings and reputation. All right, so when it comes to commute or connectivity, both cities offer relatively easy access to 465, which is the loop that goes around Indianapolis, as well as I-69. I think Fishers probably has easier access to I-69. If you're working in downtown, that's kind of the hub where a lot of the major employers are, whether it's Lilly or Salesforce. You're looking at between 25 and 35 minutes, depending where you are in those cities. I will say Carmel is more centrally located. It's like north central relative to Indianapolis, where Fishers is northeast. So if you're working on like the southwest side or the northwest side of Indianapolis, you may be better served looking for something in Carmel, especially the west side of Carmel. In my opinion, Carmel has better infrastructure, although Fishers is doing a great job when it comes to development. Carmel, obviously, I've talked about it 100 times on this channel. The Monon Trail runs right through the center of Carmel, and the city of Carmel has done a great job just as far as like redeveloping the area along the Monon. I touched on this earlier, but making it a very walkable, bikeable city. So if you live close to the Monon, for 8-9 months out of the year, you might not need a car. Fishers, on the other hand, is a little bit more car dependent, just because it is more spread out, where Carmel is much more, I guess, it's probably a little bit more condensed, I'd say. But Fishers has also done a great job with the Nickel Plate Trail, which kind of runs north-south, northeast, southwest, up through downtown Fishers. And it's actually going to end up connecting to Noblesville and actually the 4 major cities in Hamilton County. You're going to be able to do a 50-mile loop on the trail system, which is pretty awesome. You can take the Midland Trace, or you can start at the Monon, ride north to the Midland Trace Trail in Westfield, cut over down to the Nickel Plate Trail that actually will run up to Noblesville, and take that all the way down to Fishers. And I believe there's paved bike paths on 116th Street. I'll confirm that though. Next up, we've got shopping, dining, and amenities. Both of these cities score really well in my book. I live a little bit closer to Carmel, so I tend to shop and dine in Carmel a lot more. But when it comes to Carmel, you've got the Carmel City Center, you've got the Priest-Kindle Market, you've got the Palladium, which is an unbelievable art center, and then the Hotel Carmichael, which is a Marriott Autograph Collection hotel that's situated right on the Monon, across from the Monon Green, which is where the farmers market is held. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to click the link and check that out. I shot that last summer, and it is just a joy to go to. It is a phenomenal asset that the city has. Honestly, the best farmers market I've been to. You also have Clay Terrace on the north side of Carmel, right on the border of Westfield on 146th Street. There you'll find a lot more, I guess, like big box stores. They've got like a Best Buy up there, Target, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. There's a Lululemon up there. I mean, there's just Whole Foods. There's just so many stores in that Clay Center area. Dick's Sporting Goods. Pretty much anything you could think of is located up in that area. As far as restaurants go, Carmel has a ton, from little mom and pop shops like Joe's Butcher Shop, which has the best sandwiches. Anything from, that to Dasbo's Pizza. And then you have the higher end stuff. So you've got Anthony's Chop House. You've got Savor, which is personally, I think, my favorite restaurant. You've got 3 Up, which is a rooftop bar that's above Anthony's Chop House that overlooks the Monon Trail. There's just a ton of options, and newer restaurants like Monterey and Josephine. So when it comes to Fishers, you also have an abundance of shopping opportunities. The majority of those are going to be right along the I-69 corridor at 116th Street, but there are plenty of local restaurants too. You've got Ale Emporium that's over off Oleo Road near Geist in 116th Street. You've got other big chains that are actually moving into Fishers, I think, given the proximity to the interstate. You got places like Torchy's Tacos. You've got Jinya Ramen, which is excellent. Torchy's is awesome too. Been trying to avoid tacos though. You've got other local places like 1933 Lounge, which is a spinoff of St. Elmo's, which you can see a little bit more on St. Elmo, but they feature a lot of the same menu items that St. Elmo's has, but they also offer some stuff that St. Elmo doesn't. If you haven't seen that video on the top 3 steakhouses in downtown Indianapolis, you can check that out. But yeah, I mean, as far as shopping goes, you've got the only IKEA on the north side of Indianapolis. I'm not sure if there's one on the south side. It might be the only one in Indianapolis. You've got Top Golf, and there's so many things to do in Fishers. The possibilities are endless. To condense it all down, Carmel feels like a European-inspired like town center, especially when you're in downtown Carmel. Everything's very well thought out. They've got strict architectural regulations when it comes to businesses, where Fishers feels like it's like a great place to spend a fun Saturday with the kiddos. You've got everything from, like I said, Geist Reservoir all the way, up to Top Golf. And you have the new arena in Fishers. I'm spacing on the name of it. I'll put it right here, but it's home to the Indy Fuel, which is the local hockey team, as well as the Indy Ignite, which is the local professional women's volleyball team. When it's not being used for sporting events, it's also doubles as a smaller concert venue. I've got some friends who have been there. I haven't been there yet, but I definitely need to check it out. All right, so next up we have Parks and Recreation. Funny show, but we're talking about these 2 suburbs. So to start with Carmel, you've got an extensive trail system, the Monon, which I already talked on. You've got Central Park, which is connected to the Monon Center, which is kind of like a YMCA feeling fitness center. It's got basketball courts, pools, I believe indoor and out. There's also a water park there. And then you've got Midtown Plaza that has a ton of restaurants. There's an open air kind of, I don't even know, it's like a courtyard almost. Right at Sun King Brewery and the Monon Trail on Friday nights in the fall. They'll broadcast the Carmel High School football games there. Like I said, there's a huge focus on walkability, lots of public art, and a little bit more upscale leisure. When it comes to Fishers, you've got Geist Waterfront Park as well as Geist Reservoir. So if you're into boating, tubing, water skiing, wakeboarding, wake surfing, you name it, Fishers is the place for you, just due to that access to Geist Reservoir. But you also have, like I said, a nickel plate trail, and they're making downtown Fishers a little bit more walkable, especially along the nickel plate trail. There's a lot more like rustic nature spots in Fishers that are great for hiking or kayaking, sports, you name it. And finally, we have growth and future development. What does the future look like for these 2 cities in Hamilton County? Well, starting with Carmel, obviously, like I said, they're kind of boxed in geographically by 4 other cities. And so they're focused a lot more on redevelopment and kind of like refining what's already in place. There's a massive focus on beautification. Like when you're downtown Carmel, they've got hanging flower baskets on like every lamppost. I just appreciate the aesthetics of Carmel personally. I really like the European influence of the architecture, just how they really make a concerted effort to make it a beautiful place to live. It's not just glass and steel, office buildings everywhere. And, kind of like that Vinyl Village, Monopoly House feel when it comes to neighborhoods. Fishers, on the other hand, has a ton of development going on. Between the Nickel Plate District, you've got tech startups there, a lot of mixed-use zoning, and then a lot of development down by Geist as well. The city's making major investments in the downtown area. Like I said, trying to make it a lot more walkable and focus on that mixed use kind of feel. So I guess you could say like Fishers is evolving fast. So if you're the type of person who likes to get in before the wave crests, it's an exciting place to buy. So final thoughts on the comparison between these 2 cities. Carmel in a nutshell is ideal for those seeking luxury, walkability, really intentional planning, city planning when it comes to development, and honestly just like a really peaceful community to live in. Just has a really just quintessential like Americana, like European influence vibe. Where Fishers, on the other hand, is perfect for active families. A little bit more if you're like a first-time home buyer, you're gonna have a better opportunity there, and also the excitement of growth and new things, because you're getting a lot more of that in Fishers, where, like I said, Carmel's focused on the redevelopment. So bottom line is, if you're considering a move to Indy, specifically the north suburbs in Hamilton County, and you're not sure what's right for you, I'd love to help. I actually included a free moving to Carmel guide in the description below, and I'll also be in the pinned comment. So if you're looking to kind of get an idea for Carmel and the surrounding area, that's a great place to start. You can also book a call with me free consultation. It allows me to just kind of assess what your needs are and how we can find you the best home here in Hamilton County, whether that's Carmel's, Fishers, or elsewhere. But ultimately, I want to thank you guys for watching. Really means a lot to have your support, and I'm happy to help. So until next time, if this video helped you, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be ready for more information as soon as I post to the channel. Have a great one.